Heyo everybody, Haku here with this week's HaQ&A video where I'm gonna answer your questions and comments and stuff. But before I get into any of that, this may be a bit of a short one because this was kind of a short Tower of God chapter, and usually Tower of God and Walking Dead, we didn't really get a ton of new Walking Dead info, and those are usually the two big things that will make one of my HaQ&A videos long. So this one shouldn't be that long comments-wise, but before we get into that, there are a few little things I wanted to talk about. First up, as far as 12 Beast goes continuing the future, like I said, I plan to do everything else, plan to buy the volumes and everything in September and follow it as it goes along whenever a new chapter comes out in English. But I recently did the live reaction / review for chapter 11, and I said I might do a review discussion, or I probably would, because of new information I got after doing the live reaction to it. But I'm just going to throw that in here really quick, because basically the only thing that I could add to it, of course I liked the chapter and all, but it was super short. The only thing I can really say about it is, or the only thing that the news or whatever is that it's actually been picked up by a new person doing scanlations of it, so I don't know how often we will get new chapters of it now that they are doing scanlations. But that was apparently the actual full chapter 11, and it was a bit underwhelming. It was way shorter than the normal chapters, but it's whatever. It was still whatever. So oh yeah, also I guess this week I'm doing a Walking Dead comic discussion, and next week is when I'll start, next Friday, with my Fear the Walking Dead predictions on Fridays and reviews on Mondays like we used to do. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about, was the Boku no Hero Academia read-through, because I'll try to post my first video of that read-through this weekend, and I'll post at least one video each weekend for the Boku no Hero Academia read-through. Each video will likely be 4 chapters, and 4 chapters, who knows how long that'll end up being. Guess it depends on the chapters. But I'll do it in increments of 4 chapters, and I'll do it every weekend. I'll try to do it more often than that, throw one in the middle of the week as well when I can. But we're covering 6 series week to week, and some of them we're doing more than 1 video on. A lot of them we're doing 2 videos on, and we're covering 3 or so series that we do multiple videos on month to month. So there's a lot going on the channel, and I don't know that I'll have time to do the read-throughs more than once a week, but you will at the very least, have 1 video a week for the read-through of Boku no Hero Academia. Then when we're done with that, we can move on to something else. I'll probably add weekly or whatever live reactions and reviews to Boku no Hero Academia if I like it. And it seems like the kind of thing I probably will like, because tons of people seem to love it. Hopefully, though, it'll introduce a bunch of new people to the channel, and we can grow the community a little through it. But let's get into the actual comments finally. That was, 4 minutes-ish? The Gaming Wolf said, nice review, talking about my Walking Dead comics review. I really like the issue. I think 158 will be good. I hope Dwight lives. I want to see his life after the war, like it's teased in the letter hacks, and congrats on 200 subs. Thank you so much, and I agree about Dwight 100%. He's one of my favorite characters. They also said, and earlier in the issue it looked like Magna was flirting with Dwight, but it's cool to see Dwight and Laura together. Yeah, if Laura gets jealous and betrays them or something because of Magna and Dwight being close, I will be very salty at that, because that would just be the kind of storyline to piss me off. Gabriel Lancelot said, great video as always, really enjoyed watching you talk about my favorite manga / manhwa. Also, side note for I Am a Hero, the zombies don't come in until chapter 20 or so. It's a slow start, but as a fan of The Walking Dead and Z Nation, I'm positive you'll love it. And yeah, I definitely don't mind slow stuff. Even if it's slow and detailed, I kind of like slow stories, you know? And I had said about Z Nation 2, I've never watched it. I've heard it's kind of cheesy, but cheesy makes it sound bad, but not in a bad kind of cheesy. In an old Hollywood or video game zombie kind of cheesy. That kind of cheesy. And he said, yeah, it's kind of cheesy, but it's actually really good. Unlike The Walking Dead, this show's really unique and creative with the zombies. It's kind of funny, or so it's kind of funny. The Walking Dead doesn't have creativity with the zombies, in my opinion, but in Z Nation, there are blasters, superhuman zombies caused by radiation of the nuke, some weird plant zombies, and another one I can't really remember. So yeah, it's like Left 4 Dead or video game type zombies almost. So I think definitely something that I will maybe check out in the future. I don't know. When do I have time to check things out in the future? But yeah, thank you for the discussion and talk and everything. Mike Nemp said, Tales of Demons and Gods is a pretty good manga too. It has a pretty unique premise and lots of action. We'll add it to the list. And to the build-up comment, that's one of my favorite parts of anime and manga, is that you know the story's going to blow up soon, but you never know when. So each week reading the chapter is super hype versus having action all the time and then being disappointed when there is story or little action. Don't know if you've read it or not, but I'll copy the text of the speech I read in case you didn't have time. Okay, yeah, this is what we were talking about, where he said that when he went over and he read the Tower of God chapter last week, it was like there were a couple parts, but especially Bomb's speech, where it was like definitely different than what I read for my live reaction and what I took my notes on for my review. And he put it down there. Here it is. Some people kidnapped his precious companions. Those people have conspired with powerful forces to treat selected candidates like slaves. They brag as if they were a king in this small station. They aren't aware of the fact that they're small toads in a pool. Seen from the outside, you guys are really pathetic. If there really is a god in this tower, he won't forget people like you. And yeah, like, so much of that, especially the toads in a pool part, I don't remember any of that. Like, there's a lot of that I like could visibly reading it. I was like, yeah, that's definitely 100% changed. I have no idea. It's really weird, honestly. Like, I have no idea why that part has changed. But that's definitely different from what I first read in the live reaction. And yeah, when I went to check it, it said that. It said what he has copied and pasted there. So it's like really a strange occurrence. Brandon Meredith said on my Walking Dead comics review, nice video, bro. Thanks a ton. Murak Infotube said, it's weird. I feel nostalgic and emotional about Bleach too. Haku, I like your One Piece reaction. Keep going, man. Yeah, thank you so much. And about Bleach, it's such a shame to me that the final arc has been rushed so badly. We're left with so many plot points that Kubo was either like, I'm just going to throw these out and abandon them, or he just throws out a quick solution or lampshades it or whatever. So there are a lot of problems with Bleach ending in this way, and it's definitely not the way that the author had intended for it to end. So that's super, super sad, like from a creative standpoint, just thinking about stuff. And honestly, I said I wasn't going to do any videos on Bleach, but for the final chapter, it's something that I've been reading for years. It was the first manga I ever really read week to week or anything. I was reading it week to week years before I even started reading One Piece or Tower of God. So I didn't want to do videos, and I haven't done videos on the channel just because the arc has been honestly so bad in my opinion that I was so disappointed and it was incredibly rushed. But I think I might do a video to the finale just because I don't know if I'll do a separate reaction and review or just talk about it and review it in the reaction, but I kind of feel like I just want to do a video. Like, that's another thing, I don't want to seem bandwagon-y, like all these people making videos just because this is the last chapter, but I want to do a video just because it's the last chapter, because it's something that I've really read and enjoyed, and at one point was my favorite manga. So, I don't know, I think I might do a live reaction to the final chapter, and discussion on it maybe in the same video or maybe a separate video. I have no clue, but we'll see what happens. We'll just see what happens. I'll probably at least do a live reaction though. The Gaming Wolf said, Dwight's the Daryl of the comics. He'll survive longer because people wouldn't want Daryl to die by the Whisperers. They'd want him to get a heroic death. Maybe Dwight gets a heroic death, and most importantly, Dwight is loyal to Rick. And yeah, I agree. Like, I've even said like before and stuff that I think the show, like for the TV show, they could kill Dwight off around the time skip. Getting spoilery, but the comics do things way different than the TV show. So just skip out a little bit past this if you don't want some maybe possible spoilers for the comic. But I like kind of thought that maybe they could kill TV show Dwight off around the time skip area and then give Daryl his post time skip story, because like I don't know, it makes sense in the comics and stuff, but I think for the show it would make more sense for the guy leading the army to be somebody Rick trusted and had known for a long time. And I think Daryl really fits the role super, super well, and how he doesn't want to be a leader, he doesn't think of himself as a leader, but Rick's like, you know, you're a leader now, Daryl. So I think that could be a really interesting plot point. Or I think they could just keep Dwight around and give him a different thing while they give Daryl comic Dwight's storyline when it comes to the army. And he could always fill in Daryl's spot if he got killed. Or they could give Dwight a completely new continuing storyline like they did with Carol and Morgan, who both died a long time ago in the comics, but the show has given them really creative original storylines. So I think they could do that with Dwight, and it'd be really cool too. He also said, I'm hyped after the war to see the radio community. Me too. I think they could even potentially come in during the war. I almost kind of hope they don't, but I do think it's a very, very real possibility. And also, in response to my thing earlier, they said, yeah, it would be super cool to see Daryl take Dwight's story and his leadership role. I'm holding on to that theory. And another comment, I think lastly, they said, and I sort of think Dwight and Negan may get along, but for sure Negan will have to get Lucille back, and I bet Negan's going to bash Beta's head in like Glenn. I don't know. I don't think I want him to get Negan back. I think most of the like hardcore fans will. Negan is my second favorite character in the series, but I've been liking him for him without Lucille and without the Bat recently. So I don't think he needs it. And I like Dwight having Lucille because I like his reason for it, like turning it into a symbol of good and a symbol of hope and all that, and changing what it means and getting rid of the oppression behind it. So I kind of like Dwight keeping Lucille personally. Anime Watcher said, I didn't realize my comment last week spawned a thread of discussion, but I definitely feel proud that I did provoke debate on a topic of Andraste strength versus bomb strength that's already being debated. Yeah, there was definitely something worth talking about too. I personally think that Bomb is without question stronger than Andraste, but different people think different things, and that's totally cool. Dehat Laman said, good, I like it, and about 2 of my Tower of God videos, so thank you a ton. Ethan Esquette said, Ron just went full retard. What's he thinking of going up against the strongest of the 10 bosses who took down Rak, Yiwa, or whatever the most recent spelling of her name is. I spell Yiwa like you spell it, like how they spelled it in the company translation. I don't like the EHWA that line uses. And that other dude who seems pretty strong, Danwa. And like you said, Ron is all out of energy, so how would he stand a chance anyways? Maybe he wants to slow Inieta down, but I couldn't see Rand lasting for 2 minutes. Now the bosses are going to either have another hostage or he's going to get himself killed unless our Lord and Savior Hatsu steps in and saves Ron's ass. And yeah, agreed in like every way. I think Ron has he has no chance while he's tired like he is now. And I think even if he wasn't tired, even at full strength, he'd struggle against Inieta or possibly even lose to Inieta. And I personally think / hope that Hatsu's going to be the one to come in and fight Inieta. And I think it's really possible as well, since Ship's group split up and they went to different paths. So I think Hatsu's path, he could jump in and fight Inieta for sure. And I think Hatsu being an expert swordsman, even if he's not necessarily as strong as Ron, I think him being especially good at swordsmanship, he could stand a better chance of beating Inieta than Ron does. And next up, we have Anime Watcher said, I didn't expect a matchup between Ron and Inieta, though it's going to be short, though I think it's going to be short and sweet. I'm hyped for whatever Kaiser's planning. She may be weaker than Bomb, but she could hold something that gives her an advantage. And yeah, I agree. I think Bomb's stronger than Kaiser, but not by a lot. And I'm really hyped to see them fight for real and see what she has up her sleeve. And I think that, like I've said before, we haven't seen her a lot lately, but to me this arc, Kaiser is the most interesting character by far to me. I want to learn more about her. She's a character that, like, I want to see more. I want to learn more. She's a character that makes me want to keep reading so that I can find out more about them. So, yeah, I really like Kaiser. Kaiser's a really hype character. Alnoa.02014 A/Z24 said, Ron and Inieta will be badass. This is going to be good. And yeah, going to be really good, really awesome. Though I do think it'll probably be a little short before something happens. Either Hatsu comes in or Ron's just too tired and gets defeated. Something like that. Paul1991ish said, very short chapter this week, but that end though, hype, hype, hype. Yeah, it was really short, but I think it was also really enjoyable. And when it comes to, like, actual length, it was the same length as usual. It was just that, like, a bunch of the panels were just full pages of just an image of somebody running or somebody getting hit with an attack. So since you're not actually reading a bunch of dialogue boxes, you just scroll through quicker. And content-wise, it is shorter, though it is technically the same length. But you probably knew that. So I'm just kind of rambling on. But I loved Bomb vs. Yukon as well. I really like seeing that fleshed out into a full ordeal. Ghost Emblem, lastly for this week, says, unlike Rack, we've seen in the early Ron fights that he's capable of using more strategic moves with his ability. Against someone like Inieta, that'll be important in the name. That'll be important. In the name hunt station, there's no such thing as a straight battle because if you touch the opponent's back for 10 seconds, you win. But even then, things don't look good for Ron. And yeah, I agree. Ron is super strong and talented, especially when it comes to fighting. And I think, like, of the regulars that we follow right now in the series, Ron is definitely top 15 strongest, like, if not top 10 strongest. So he is one of the stronger characters that we're following in the series. And even then, I think that at full strength, he would struggle in a fight. He would have a close fight with Inieta, or he could potentially even lose to Inieta at full strength. So I don't think he's, like, way stronger or more talented than Inieta to be a sure win against him. So now that he's not even really at full strength from what we know, he seems to be still tired from fighting Hess. I don't think he has too much of a chance at all right now. So he needs somebody to come in and provide some assistance so that he just doesn't get overwhelmed by an opponent that is likely fresher than him and really overpowered with that REA swordsmanship paired with Krishna. And that's it. That's it for this week's comments. Let's see. Make sure. Yeah. And so yeah, that's it. This one turned out kind of short-ish. I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. And like if you did like this video. Comment down there. Tell me what you thought about anything said here. And anything else you want to ask or anything. Any comment is cool. And subscribe for more of everything we talked about here and a ton more. Like I said, we're covering a friggin' ton of series right now. It is exasperating at times, but I'm really loving it. And follow on Twitter for updates as well. I will be trying to keep you updated there on when I post stuff or push stuff, or yeah, when I post stuff or push stuff back or anything in between random lame Harambe jokes. And yeah, I guess that's about it. So, yeah, I guess thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you all next time.